keep it different. Like so. This my gasoline and matches flow. Part of me's an arsonist, I burn a track up masterful. Tell these rappers talking about they ice cold, hit the road. Flamethrower melt 'em, I'm the sun to these niggas snow. And I'm raising up the temperature, amazing all the listeners, cause they know I spit the verse so dangerous. I'm picture perfect, painted like Da Vinci, just in case and he convincing I'm the man. But with this pen up in my hand, Johnny Storm, flame on. I compose Beethoven, they on the same songs, Wayne all day long.
Alright. Adeeb Shabazz here, and we're with musical artist KidSyc, MC extraordinaire from Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, you know, we just here kicking it and bringing this real hip hop.
For sure.
You know, as it is in the streets right here in Savannah, Georgia. What brought you to hip hop?
Okay.
You know, kind of give us a history of what brought you here, and you know what sparked your interest.
I think like when I was younger, I kind of already had like a musical interest, and you know, my mom played a lot of Motown. Just, you know, when I was growing up, you know, that's what we would clean the house to and things like that. And you know, I always had like a keyboard or, you know, a drum set or something like that, just kind of close at hand. And the school that I went to also, you know, we had to take a strings instrument in elementary school up until like 6th or 7th grade. You had to take this kind of band exploratory thing. And so like music was already kind of there. And I think just kind of seeing some of the early hip hop videos, you know, just kind of being like, oh man, that's cool. But my mom didn't let me listen to that music, so I never really got, you know, into that. And I was more like alternative rock fan growing up. And then honestly, it was probably 2002, 2001-ish when Marshall Mathers LP came out. That was that's kind of what made me, you know, want to rap. And it was, you know, the Hi My Name Is video from, you know, by Eminem. It kind of you know, just like, man, this is weird. You know, I've never seen any rapper that looks like this dude. You know, he's doing something kind of different. You know, he's kind of got a similar sense of humor to mine, and he's bringing this kind of funny side of hip hop that I hadn't seen.
Right.
And I was like, well, if he can do it, man, and people are liking this, you know, I can probably come up with something cool, you know. And so I started studying, and you know, I took a lot of Eminem verses and broke them down with, you know, stresses and rests. And then Blueprint came out around that time, JD's Blueprint. So that, Blueprint, Marshall Mathers LP, Ludacris, Word of Mouth, Cameron's Come Home With Me, and T.I., I'm Serious. And those were the 5 that I kind of would bounce back and forth and like listen to. I was memorizing those, you know, waking up to them every day. And you know, later on, I guess, you know, now looking back, like, you can see how each of those, you know, has kind of, you know, formed into, you know, my style. Like,
Definitely.
You know, it's like, you know, even me talking about it now, it's like, dang, that kind of makes sense. You know, it does. Sense. You know, just the love for quicker paced rhymes, and the love for, you know, kind of just wordy wordplay, you know, thing. So just, you know, being 16, you know, studying those folks, you know, was just kind of the makings of the type of MC that I am.
How many times have you done a double black diamond fly down the side of a mountain at about the speed of a pilot, equivalent to me giving soliloquies in the shower? The best of I've ever thought of, forgot it before I dried off. That's the day in the life of a genius in the bottle. Need some ink, not a drink, so that I can drown all this sorrow. Couple hours to walk around and take a trip to tomorrow. Found an infinite amount of inspiration, and now I can pass the fire to you. We don't riot, we burn it down. No more pacifying to you, we ain't quiet, we talking loud. No more acting like we ain't kings off the ground. Pick up your crown. If I pass the fire to you, you're required to burn it down.
I don't really think I started writing songs maybe until college, but that just definitely started me writing, you know, just verses. Sometimes they'd be long verses. I got, you know, still got my first notebook, man. It's like, you know, all those verses in there, and I had some star system, I guess, that I went back later on and like rated the verses and how, you know, how dope I thought they were.
Yeah.
To, you know. So.
Speaking of college, then, you know, we get to that point. That's what brings you to Savannah GA,
right.
And you know, SCAD, for those who don't know, Savannah College Art and Design, like the top the tops when it comes down to.
It's definitely become international, school of the arts.
Right, international, based in Savannah, Georgia, campuses in Atlanta, where else? Hong Kong.
France,
right. Is there a Tokyo one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just Hong Kong, Atlanta, and Lacoste, Savannah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So you came to Savannah campus, and
so fall of 2002, I just turned 17. I did summer technically in 2002. End of the summer. I graduated high school at 16, turned 17 during that summer. So I'm down here, my first taste of freedom. Nobody knows that I was kind of, I was the awkward drawer, artist kid in high school. And that's why it was such a shocker that when I was telling people that was me rapping. Yeah, once I got down here, I think I was, I'd been making beats as well, and I think I was just in my dorm room one time with the windows open, with the blinds up, and nodding to a beat. And Sean Foy was my next door neighbor. He comes, beats on my door. He's like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yo, what's up, man?" He's like, "Yo, you rhyme?" And I'm like, a little bit, I'm good. By this point, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm still a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, that's what's up, man. Well, little Scat Swarm thing is tonight, and we're gonna be down there by the square, and we're gonna have a cypher start with my word. And so, that spawned, a few friends that night that are, still friends to this day. Just that, that meeting of the minds where everybody's, trading. It was myself, Adam, and Sean, and I think maybe one or two other people, that ended up kind of joining. But, those two, Sean and Adam, I guess, have been hanging out, and they're like, "Yeah, man, this is my dude." And then he's like, "Yeah, man, you nice, man." Like, "Yeah, man, you too." And so it's just like that mutual respect.
Right.
And then of course, later on that ended up turning into Soul Essential.
Yeah, and that's where, I heard you, through Soul Essential, was really digging the style. Y'all had a flow that, I said, yeah, this is it. This is refreshing. Kind of took me back to kind of a little bit of Tribe, a little bit of Tribe Called Quest.
Funny because a lot of people, they say that, man, and I get it more so now than I did back then because, I really, I got into the meat of hip hop once I got, to Savannah and met Sean and Adam.
Right.
And they're like, "Man, you haven't heard this. You haven't heard, Big Pun, Calvin Punishment. You haven't heard." And so they just put me on to all this stuff, and I just got, inundated with like the greats, the dope MCs. I started listening to Rakim, and just like, no, I didn't know about this because I was, when that was coming out, I was listening to, 9 Inch Nails and Korn and all that type of stuff. But because of that, it made my ear inclined to rap over different types of beats. And I think that's kind of what they appreciated about, my style as it developed. It was like I was getting this, this kind of lesson over here in the roots of hip hop, but also just had this musical preference that, that I could, kind of ride this middle line and, so some of the beats that I would pick out, that's a new beat. You can't, nobody else can rap over that.
Yeah.
And I used to get offended, but then, eventually I was like, you know what, that's awesome. You know what I mean? It's like where they're not saying that it's whack, they're just saying that, somebody like you needs to get on that beat with you if that's what you're looking for. Because, I'm not going to do that.
Right, yeah.
Check out what perfect timing, and can't be a chance meeting stars in a line. What I meant to do is pique your interest like a mountain climb. After what's later, and I ain't talking about tonight, I'm talking about her life. I can see it in her eyes. Yeah, and I'm thinking, now she wanna ride, now she wanna chill, now she wouldn't mind spending time with the kid. She like my style, the way I hold it down, because I got a mind, I come around now. Now she wanna ride, now she wanna chill, now she wouldn't mind spending time with the kid. She like my style, the way I hold it down. Oh, I bet some of us think I take it when I take her out. We're like a spread of nice and yeah, take that step around.
I definitely hear, the rock background and what you do. Especially, hooking up with the band Brandywine.
Yeah.
I mean, just brings a unique style to it, which, I mean, that's what hip hop is about. I mean, when Rick Rubin brought rock into hip hop early in the 80s, that was revolutionary. But then people kind of fell away from it with the the southern sound, you know, the big south sound.
808s.
Right. The 808s really started coming back hard in a different way though. So now brings it right back, you know, and it's needed. I mean,
yeah, I think people are just there's this pendulum swing between, you know, almost like a programmed futuristic sound, and then eventually people like they kind of go too far, start doing some weird stuff with it, and people just start, you know, having a hankering and a desire to return back to musicianship and, you know, musicality and live instruments and music. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, the same, but it's just like, we want to hear some horns, not synth sound. You know, like we want to hear a kick drum, not an electronic, you know, programmed waveform. And it's just, it'll go back to that as well. You know, people will figure out whatever the next auto-tune is going to be in, you know, the next 20 years. Right. And it'll be, you know, just like Zapp and Rogers, and then you got, you know, the bands and the boom bap sound coming, you know, and then you swing back to auto-tune, and now we're getting back over to, you know, so it's just once you kind of start observing it and you do your history and realize that, you know, technically it has already happened, you know, this type of movement, and it's just the way people work. You know, they like something, it's new, it's refreshing to the ear, it gets old, they start wanting the old thing back, and then, oh yeah, this is new, it sounds like this, but a different version, and then they get tired of that, and you know, you just kind of ride the pendulum.
Yeah. If I had to compare, you know, to somebody who's out today, I'd say, you know, a little bit of B.O.B., you know.
Wow, man.
A little bit, I said just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That whole comparison, the B.O.B. comparison is interesting because, you know, you know, not talking trash at all. Like, I'm not a very big fan of, like, the way he's gone about, you know, making his music. I feel like he kind of came out, you know, with the Hated Everywhere We Go song. Right. You know, and that was dope, you know, and then he kind of went away for a little while, and then came back as this, you know, kind of different artistic, you know, next Andre 3000 kind of is how they were branding him. Right. And then he just shifted right back, you know, like all of a sudden, and it's just like, it's almost like branding, you know what I mean, where it's like, McDonald's cannot all of a sudden one day decide that they can't have, or they won't have the Big Mac one day, because they will lose so many loyal McDonald's fans, you know what I'm saying? Even doing that, taking it off the menu will, you know, disengage people from wanting to deal with McDonald's, because like, no man, I went one time, they didn't even have Big Macs, I'm not going back, you know, and so it's just like, I feel like when you know, maybe I was just disappointed because, you know, I almost kind of wanted to become a fan of B.O.B. and like, you know, I was hopeful. I think that's what it was. I was hopeful, and then it's just like, you know, I don't know whatever the new one is. It's just like, man, I can't get down with that dude, and like I know because you've done this that you're capable of this, and you're just kind of playing the game, you know, throwing it at the wall, seeing what sticks, and not admitting that, you know what I'm saying, to us. Like you're trying to brand it as authentic, or, you know, make us think it's authentic, and it's like, well, you know, come on, man, let's give us a little bit of one and a little bit of other, you know. Right. To Eminem, I appreciate him for that, man. He always came out with his little jokey track, and it's like, here, what you guys want? You want a single? Oh, I'm gonna have fun with the single. I'm gonna poke fun at all the, you know, pop stars of the time being. Right. And then he would go and have cleaning out my closet, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I dropped this so that the album sales go through the roof, and all the sheep, you know, who are just gonna buy it because, you know, they think I look cool. Right. Fine. And then the hip hop fans, you know, I got you guys next, and that's what you know, if you're gonna play the game that way, I'd like to see it played that way. Right. It was genius, man. So after, you know, Solo Central kind of just, you know, went to different areas of the map, I'd say. I started working for AWOL, for the nonprofit, so I kind of had access to, you know, the studio, also the ability and, you know, opportunity to teach kids how to run Pro Tools, which also kept my, you know, my sword sharpened, because I need to, you know, be current with all the new Pro Tools bells and whistles that are happening. Right. And you know, just it was just a cool, synergistic, you know, way of keeping myself sharp, teaching and learning all at the same time. And you know, I recorded my next, I want to say 3 albums, you know, in that studio. And that was the Yes album, Mr. Gold, and I say like the KID was recorded there too. Mm-hmm. And those were just super fun projects, man. The Yes album was basically based on the idea of making people bob their head and say yes, because it's making them, accept whatever message is going in.
Right.
So I've almost like, disguised the message underneath this, just a dope beat. And it's like by the time you're singing along, or by the time it's stuck in your head, you're like, oh wow, I wonder what he meant by, I never really paid attention to that, but I know the lyric just because I sing along with it. And the Mr. Gold was almost like this period where, KidSyc was starting to get more recognition. Things were just starting to, just kind of click a little bit. People I didn't know saying, hey man, what's up man, saw you, on Tuesday.
Right.
It does something to you. I don't care who you are, you know what I mean?
True.
It's just like, that feels good. Whenever somebody that you have no idea, who they are, tells you that you do a good job at what it is that you have been working on for years.
Right.
It's like, all right, man, it's recognition, word up. And, it's coming from somebody who has no prior, interaction with me.
Right.
Like, okay, word up, I'm doing something right. And that every time that happens, it keeps you going. It fans those flames a little bit, and I think sometimes those flames can get out of hand. And I think that's what Mr. Gold was. It was almost like this admittance of moments of just letting ego get out of control. I was reading 48 Laws of Power, and I had just seen the movie Revolver, the Guy Ritchie film. And if you ever see that, Andre 3000's in that actually. And it just kind of deals with this character, Mr. Gold, and if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but it's like this. He basically, from my interpretation of it, represents the ego, because you never see him, and it's actually, I think, ends up not even being a person. It's just this entity, this idea that everybody thinks they work for, and at the end of the day, it's fear. He doesn't. Mr. Gold doesn't even exist. It's just you want to be in his good graces, and so you do whatever it takes to hopefully get to know the guy one day.
Right.
And it's just like this. It's this made up idea. So it's your ego desiring to have some type of satisfaction or status from being associated with Mr. Gold.
Right.
And so the Mr. Gold Experience is the name of the album.
With every bit that I improve, I feel a bit more sorry for you dudes. I'm sorry if I move too swiftly, change up my hue so quickly that it leaves you with the blues. Sick, I choose to stand out to the point that I refuse to step inside and have a seat. You lose, 2 words I've never heard in competition. I'm sprinting on these tracks just in case I forgot to mention. By the time this line is ending, I'll be chilling at the finish. Made it to the majors in my mind, I got no time for minor living. Let this serve as a reminder, I got my eye of the tiger on your title. You should kiss it goodbye in a minute. It's going hard as I serve it.
We recognize that there's a game being played, and as long as we're very transparent about the fact that we're also playing that game, I think it's fair to say that we can kind of have some fun with our hip hop. It doesn't have to be so philosophical, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be so in-your-face knowledge or just, incredible word displays all the time. Like sometimes it's fun to, be like, June 18th, same day as Paul McCartney. That's the day of birth, the day I entered Earth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's like I'm still giving you me. I'm still being honest, but it's just, it's something that you can bounce to. And then whenever we perform it at a, kind of in front of a crowd that we don't necessarily know, we see the reaction. It's like, that's why we did it. I think the next step is, for me, is doing my engineer thing. I've got solos project to mix. Super Twan just finished his Conspiracy EP. The Wild Bunch, the guys that were here when you got here, they just finished up. They got one more song to record on their album, and so I'll just kind of be in Quincy Jones mode, and mixing all that stuff, getting all the the shine on it, and I get to say that I also have my hand in recording and mixing and polishing that product.
Right.
And so it's like, just extensions of my work. you know, getting out there and, you know, it's becoming, you know, the KidSyc brand, as much as I maybe tried to fight it, it's becoming much more of a business thing than a rapper thing.
Right.
And, you know, it's cool because I just, you know, it's like I'll never admit it. You know, never admit that, you know, this is a business, you know what I'm saying? Because
right.
as soon as you do that, you start viewing it like that. But this is just a thing that is going to generate, you know, more attention for the right reason, you know, more wealth, so that then I can more efficiently do what it is, you know, I have chosen to do and what I've been chosen to do.
Right.
You know, it's like I recognize my mission because of what, you know, what gets me into that zone, that bliss, you know what I mean, and I just follow that, and, you know, that evolves, you know, bumping heads sometimes with, you know, the folks that love me, and they're like, dude, get a job, you're too smart to be broke, and it's like, it's not about being broke. It's like, yo, do I eat every day? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can I have a beer with my friends every once in a while? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, do I, you know, have a place to sleep? Like, yeah. Do I owe my sister rent money? Yeah. Am I going to be able to one day be like, here's the next 3 months rent? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And while I'm not, you know, living here and all that stuff, so it's just like, I'm not, I wish I could give them the level of understanding I have about where I'm going, just because I've seen so many of the places that I've been so many of the places that I was in my mind first, you know, knowing that, it's like now I'm like, at this point, it's like, all right, I'm ready, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna waste, quote unquote, I'm gonna waste some money in people's eyes. I'm gonna do some stuff that I've just been waiting to do. I was like, but I'm also I'm very privy to how to, you know, engage the flow and keep that same energy, you know, coming towards me, so that I can do more and enjoy more with what it is that I have. And so I guess we've gotten into future prediction on the
timeline. Yeah. But I mean, that's been your road, the road of manifesting what you see in your mind. I mean, and I'm just as much about that as hip hop. So it's one and the same.
Thoughts become things.
That's right.
A secret, you know, or just seed time and harvest. You know, everything that you, as a man, thinketh in his heart, so is he. And it's like all that different stuff, man. It's like you just, you know, if you try it out, just give it, you know, test it.
Yeah.
Test it. You know, think every day about finding $1. You know, if nothing else, your spirit and your physical being becomes keen to, you know, little corners and you know what I'm saying, just stuff like that. You're in a grocery store, you just, you know, having a glance at the ground a little bit longer because you're in expectation of finding $1 one day. And as soon as you find that $1, you know what I'm saying, figure out, that's the first cookie crumb that leads back to, you know, that's the first little thing along the trail. Start trying it out with bigger stuff.
Like psych, what is you gonna do? And like psych, is this new Kung Fu, new Confucius, or new Kung Fu-ish? Nah, it's too exclusive. Freestyle for hip-hop, you this ain't a real chain, it's just painted up on my t-shirt. I'ma do this, pray until my knees hurt, till I see something happen, pray until something happen. Acronym for push, if you were hip to acronyms, you know just what's happening. Yeah, she probably stole it, don't really matter, man, you know that I be on it. Yeah, you know that I'm always going beyond it. Sister is a thief, I'ma show y'all what we be talking about. Even though we ain't creeps, she only steals from my mama, even though that's kinda messed up. You know what it is, it's KID and this is next up. Y'all know what I said, bruh? Y'all know I'm ahead of the curve. And ain't no way that y'all gon' put my head on the curb or my teeth. Me, from the land of the hawks. And y'all know, y'all don't understand what I spark when I speak these freestyles. There's fire out of my mouth, that's amber that y'all can handle. Y'all know that I'm about the damage, that I'm about the cause to this whole dang game. And ain't nothing that I said ever the same. Please refrain from the hate. Please know that I'm out to sip some Tanqueray, and it may anger me, but luckily I'm around family. Corn dogs in my mouth on hip-hop freestyles, man, that's like a fallacy. I mean, it's so false, it's like a tragedy. The word I was looking for was like blasphemy. Transport them all, don't be trying to trap with me if you coming after me, cause that means that I'm first. I already crossed the finish line. John Abana right here, and you know it's finish time. That means that I'm about to kick you one more rhyme, and this right here is considered the finish line.